In my second presentation, I will discuss the global strategy, the international operations, and the partnerships of Amnesty International. The global strategy of Amnesty International is very clear. Amnesty International monitors the state of human rights in more than 150 countries in which they are active. Its research teams based in London conduct investigative missions throughout the world and publishes an annual report that summarizes its works. Amnesty International follows a neutral policy, which is called the country rule, stating that members should not be active in issues in their own nations, which also protects them from potential mistreatment by their own government. This principle is also applied to researchers and campaigners working for the International Secretary to prevent domestic political loyalties influencing coverage. Now I will discuss partnerships. Partnerships are very important to Amnesty International because it raises more attention to what Amnesty International aims for. Not only does Amnesty International receives money from working together with a company, but it is also a chance to change a particular business or a particular industry. So it is a very good chance. Now I will give you an example of a company that Amnesty International has worked with. Amnesty International has worked with the ISN Bank. They are working together for human rights. They have worked together for many years. This is not surprising since human rights are central to both organizations. As Amnesty International seeks a world where everyone enjoys all the rights in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other international human rights documents, the ASN Bank does not invest in companies or countries where human rights are violated. So the two organizations feel each other very well, and they have the same mission, and what their aim is really to prevent human rights. So the combination goes very well. Now, what does this cooperation really mean? Amnesty and the ASN Bank regularly exchange information on human rights. In early 2007, they have collaborated with Amnesty Human Rights Component in Investment Criteria for Companies, tightened. Reasons was the draft international guidelines from the UN Human Rights Norms for Businesses by the United Nations. The ASN Bank is the first international bank which uses design guidelines and even a step further. The updated criteria in April 2007 approved by the shareholders. Well, the ASN Bank also supports the Movies That Matter festival in our customer magazine Saving Motive, because Amnesty International also each year they present a film which is called the Amnesty International Film Festival, in which they bring attention to human rights, and so this is also what the ASN Bank supports. So, like I said, the companies really feel each other, and they are working together on a long term. But Amnesty International, along with with the ASN Bank, has also worked with many other companies for fighting human rights. So this is very important. But Amnesty International thinks it's very important to cooperate with businesses because it raises attention to their mission and it helps them. And it is also very important because when people see that Amnesty International works with a company, they also have a good opinion about Amnesty International because they think that Amnesty International is willing to change the business and want to work with the business. So this is a very good image that Amnesty International sends to people. And besides Amnesty International, the company itself also has very much advantage, because it also has a very good image with the people. The people get a good view of the business. They think the business is doing good by working with Amnesty International. Human rights are of course very important to all people in the world, so if they see that a company works together with Amnesty International, they are certain that they would not that they would respect human rights also in when employing employers. So for example, so this is also very important. So Amnesty works together with many companies, like the ASN Bank, and their aim is really to bring to people that what they do is fighting for human rights. But alongside, now I have talked about the global strategy of Amnesty International, which also includes the film festival of Amnesty International. I've also talked about the partnerships of Amnesty International. Unfortunately, I could find something about the international operations, which are, of course, Amnesty International works has a distinctive policy on in each country, because of course each country has their own problems with human rights. So they have a distinctive policy on which they focus on human rights. Of course, in poor countries they focus more on establishing more human rights and laws, and of course all that. But for example, in Western countries, they are more specialized in avoiding small corruption in politics, for example. This is also an example. And I couldn't find, unfortunately, something about the alliances of Amnesty International, although it does have many distinctive groups, for example, fighting for women's rights and for children's rights who are working. I couldn't find specific information about the subject, so that is very fortunate, but it plays also a crucial role for Amnesty International.